Hi, and welcome to Out Nerdy. I'm Paul, and it's episode 4 of She-Hulk. I was going to say Batwoman then because I can't fucking tell the difference, both are shite. So, a quick recap of last week's masterpiece of mediocrity. She wins Blonsky's case, she gives evidence on behalf of a colleague to win a case for Super Douche from her last firm, and she gets attacked by the Wrecking Crew. She also twerks with someone named after a male horse. I don't know. That's it really. Throw in a bit of the usual digs at men by middle class wine mums whose most successful relationship is with their 15 cats, and you have the episode. Now, in 3 episodes, we haven't as yet been told who the big bad is. So far, it's just a series of scenes that haven't given us anything or anything of the larger story. And I'm wondering, is this yet again going to be a theme that is the big bad rather than an overall proper villain? Now, we are episode 4 of 9. So essentially, we're in the second act. So what happened? Well, it opens up with a dude called Donny Blaze doing magic, and his act sinks faster than a stone in water facing downward. At some point, they call William Shakespeare Billy Shakes, which is an absolute travesty and disservice to the man, especially coming from these writers. Anyway, Donny then pulls out a sling ring and he asks for a volunteer, and up steps what I can only imagine was the writer in her 20s who peaked early and has regretted life ever since. The girl in question is a ditzy earhead bimbo type with a continuous alcoholic drink in hand. Now, I'm sure it's played for laughs, I'm sure it is, but I'm not sure that the writers know how to portray women either. She is then transported to Wong's gaff just as he's getting ready to watch The Sopranos, and she explains how she got there and subsequently ruins the episode he's about to watch. Now, this seems more of a motivation to stop the guy than because he's using actual magic. Now, Jen's first appearance is to tell us that cause Wong's in it again, it then gives them Twitter armor for the week. Very self-aware. Wong, who last week was an heir to kidnapping, now just pops up with no legal issues. That's how the law works, right? Now, he goes to see Jen about suing the fella in question, and after some back and forth about if Wong has anything in writing, such as an NDA regarding magical training, he doesn't, but she draws up a cease and desist letter. Now, the very same show that said it wasn't a cameo of the week show is still a cameo of the week show, but at least, like I said, it's self enough to admit it, and it's self-aware enough to know that it's using the BAME card as a defence against critics, and it knows how to deflect criticism by playing the race card. Now, the cease and desist letter doesn't work, and they end up in court. Now, in the court scene, they're arguing about if you can trademark magic. Jen calls in the ditzy girl as a witness, who, of course, is smashed again and pretty much still wearing the same outfit as before, and they're not helping here. The only other character other than Jen is a ditzy bimbo. That's not very good writing and doesn't portray your knowledge of winning. And also, because she's smashed out of her face, she doesn't help the case at all. Now, the judge rules in the guy's favour, in fucking Magic Mike, whatever he's called, in his favour, where she agrees not to put a ban on magic, but she will look at the case, and that's it. That is the big plot point of today's episode. Well, it's not. No, the big plot point of this show is Jen wants some cock, 'cause she's horny. And now the majority of the episode is the Tinder bits that we saw in the trailers. Now just think of the outcry if a male character did this. We wouldn't hear the end of it off Twitter and, fucking feminist, but it's okay when it's her. It's okay, don't worry. Now, we then get some dating scenes. And no man that I know has ever acted like the men portrayed in this episode. To me, it feels like we're getting more self-inserts of the writers' real-life dating disasters. Because if it didn't happen, then I can only assume that they hate men. But if they are true stories, and they are self-inserts, then it says more about the writer's poor choice of men. Now, Jen's not getting anywhere, so she changes her profile to She-Hulk and instantly starts getting hits. Now, I guess they're playing off the comics where She-Hulk embraces her sexuality. But again, I don't think the writers have the intelligence to know how to write women they have no way of identifying with. Now, we go back to Donny, and he's opening up some more portals, and it all goes Pete Tong. He calls in Wong to help him. Now, meanwhile, Jen's pulled, and she's about to get laid, so she ignores the phone calls from Donny, 'cause screw superhero stuff in a superhero show. And just as she's about to get some, Wong turns up, cock blocks her, and she has to go help him. Now, she doesn't want to help him. She tells us all through the scene that she doesn't want to be there. Now, while she's there, bear in mind she's already in Hulk form. She has to ask Wong what he wants her to do. Just let that sink in. What kind of question is that? He replies, do Hulk stuff, as he tries to close the portal. He has to tell her how to Hulk out. Now, she helps out, I guess, but she don't want to be there, like I said. And they get down to the last one, which she uses to threaten Donny Blaze into the cease and desist order. Let that sink in. A lawyer is threatening to use physical violence to get her way. Okay then. Now that the superhero bit's done, we can get back to the actual point of the show, and that is Jen getting some dick. Which of course she does, but in the morning, as Jen is making breakfast, she's Jen, the dude doesn't know this, and he does a quick bunk, because he's not interested in plain old Jen. She makes a quip about hot doctors being a cliche, and gets a knock at the door, and gets served, because Titania is suing her for nicking the She-Hulk name, because she's trademarked it first. That's the episode. There is an end credit where it's Ditsy Bird and Wong, and it looks like they're set up to a 70s porno where they're about to bang each other. But, obviously it cuts out, and I turned off because it was shit. Now, once again, the show tells us and shows us it has zero respect for men and how they think we behave. The writers don't seem to be able to write anybody, be it male or female, as none of them have any depth to their character. They're all very superficial, and right now, they're making CW writers look good. The Madison joke they do twice, and both times it falls flat. Now, I can't understand how any senior writer let this pass. Did no one check the scripts? Now, I've said they don't seem to know how to write women, yet it's written by women. But I'm not sure what kind of women they are, as the only two examples they give us of women is Bimbo Pisshead and Jen, who falls into the first dude who shows a bit of interest in her. Yet they then try to portray him as an absolute douchebag for doing a bunk, but she pulled him off Tinder. It's not exactly known for its long-lasting relationship business model, is it? And also, what does it say about Jen? The whole show so far should just be called She-Hulk. It's okay when women do it. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. And I'll see you all again. Ta-ra for now.